Hey guys! Today is Minecraft for Beginners, episode number 1. Okay? Now, today we're going to be going over how to start your game and what to do first. Well, not first. This is basically the controls and whatnot. And we'll cover what to do first in the different game modes in a separate episode. Let's get started. Alright, so this assumes that you have already opened your game and is on Minecraft. Now, with most, you just click on the game. Sometimes you have to double click it or something, or you have to do something like that. If you're on like an Xbox or a Nintendo Switch, you may have to do a little something more. But as for now, well, now, once you have your game open, this is the open screen. You have the play button, settings, marketplace, and your profile. Now, I'm going to get on one of my other skins. But that's for a separate video, hopefully. And so here, we're going to create a world. So what we do is you click on this play button, and then you click on create new, and then create new world. So this is the creating a world screen. The game modes are survival and creative on Bedrock Edition. There's also hardcore and spectator in Java Edition. In Java Edition Spectator mode, you're invisible, you can fly around through blocks, and things such as that. Now, I don't have some Java Edition, so I only have creative and survival. Now, in survival mode, you're going to mine for resources to survive, as the name suggests, and eventually beat the game by defeating the Ender Dragon. But we'll talk about that in a different video. In creative mode, you have infinite resources, but you cannot earn achievements. We'll also talk about achievements in a different video. Right now, we're going to keep it on survival. This is the difficulty. Peaceful means there's no hunger, and you can't die because an animal in the game, otherwise called a mob, is attacking you. So I typically go with peaceful, but you can also do easy, where the mobs are less powerful, hunger goes down slowly, and it really does, and it also the barely any bad mobs spawn. There's also normal mode, which hunger goes down at a normal speed, more mobs spawn, they're a little bit more powerful. Then hard mode. As you can guess, it's rather hard. And it's basically so a ton of mobs spawn. Hunger goes down extremely quickly, and the mobs are more powerful. So this is for more seasoned players. I would recommend starting out at peaceful and working your way up or down, if you want to look at it that way. There we go. And that's the game modes and difficulties. The rest of this stuff is for more seasoned players if they want to make the world different ways. But you can make it flat or infinite. You can put other players in operator, member, things such as that, and other things. Also over here is multiplier, basically. So this local area network is means that if they're in the same building, they can connect to your game. So visible to LAN players, you can turn that on and off so that it can't connect to the game. Multiplayer game just turns it off or on altogether. This is for a later video. Also, these two are also for more seasoned players who want to adapt the game to their own wishes. So then, we create the world by clicking create. Once you're on a world, well, there are you have a day and night cycle of 10 minutes of day and 10 minutes of night. But we'll get into what you should do in this situation in a little bit later video. So right now, as you can see, I am moving quite easily. But here's the controls. If you're on a gaming console, A is jump. The joysticks are moving your point of view and forward and backward and side. So that's pretty simple. But if you're on a computer, that's a little bit tougher. W is forward, S is backward, D is right, S is left. So I'd recommend keeping your hand in that area at all times. So that way, and you can use your mouse to change your perspective. Also, so as you can see at the bottom of my screen, you'll see a row of hearts and a row of drumsticks. The hearts are your health. If you run out of health, you die. You can lose health by falling, for example. I just lost half a heart. And you can see I regenerated it. That will happen if your health bar is high enough. Now, right now I'm in a cave system. These are naturally generated in the world. But your food bar, which is those drumstick looking things, will go down and up as you progress through the game. Now, except in peaceful mode, which it will never go down. If you're on a gaming console, the L and R buttons are used to scroll through the hotbar, which is the thing at the bottom with all the squares. If you're on a PC, you could press 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 to go to the different slots of your hotbar. Or you can, on your mouse, the scroller also changes it in case you want to do that quicker. If you're on a PC, if you're on a computer, mining is right clicking. Well, actually, it's left clicking, and right clicking is placing blocks. If you're on spacebar is jump, and shift is sneak. You have to hold it down though. Then if you're on a gaming console, then the controls are different. The ZL button is braking, and the ZR button is placing. And A is jump and B is shift. You won't have to hold the B button to shift. Well, B isn't shift, it's a sneak, but you won't have to hold the B button on a Switch or PlayStation. You may have to do it in another device. By the way, this is for 1.18 in controls. So if there's been a few drastic updates, then you might want to check out a later video. But unless it hasn't changed the controls, in which case you should be good. To sprint, double click your forward button, which is W, or if you're on Switch, hit you or if you're on like a Switch or a PlayStation or an Xbox or something like that, you quickly press forward twice. So then and that's how you sprint. It takes a little bit of getting the hang of, but hopefully you will. Now it's time for the top 5 do's and don'ts of Minecraft. Do. Dig diagonally. What I mean is like this. 1 block down, 1 block in front, 1 block down, one block in front, 1 block down, and so on. This makes you not able to fall into, say, a cave system that you weren't expecting, possibly losing enough hearts to die. Don't dig straight down, because this is a prime opportunity for a mob to ambush you. And yes, they will do that. Also, you could fall into lava, which will kill you very quickly. Or you could even fall into a pit of angry players if you're playing on multiplayer mode. So the moral of the story is definitely don't dig straight down. Also, don't dig straight up because of the same problem. They could fall on your head. Now, for the first don't is, well, now, second. Okay. Oh, yeah. So second is use sound. Sound is your friend in this game. For example, one of the more notorious mobs is called a creeper. If you see a if you can't if a creeper is sneaking up behind you, you're gonna have to use sound to identify where it is. Otherwise, you won't be able to detect it. So don't mute it, but use earbuds. That way, you can survive longer. Oh, don't take chances with mobs. If you don't know what it is, don't mess with it. Like, I know this is a sheep, so I can mess with it. Because I know it won't attack me. And look, it dropped its wool and raw mutton. So, that is a not very dangerous mob. Because it won't attack me. It's what's called a passive mob. But if you see something like a wolf, don't mess with it, because you don't know if it'll attack you or not. Also, spoiler alert, wolves won't attack you unless you attack them. So then, also, you can eat things, but with the place button. So then, third, also, practice. Minecraft is a confusing game, and you're gonna have to take a lot of practice to master it. For example, I'm running around and I'm still making mistakes all over the place, like falling into water. You've seen me do that nearly 3 times already. So, practice, practice, practice. It's the only way to get better at this. Other than reading books, which you can as well, but it's slower. And don't give up. Definitely don't give up. Because you're gonna fail. That's the fact. You're gonna fail at some point. But if you give up straight away, then you won't be able to. Then you won't be able to do better. Dude, learn from your mistakes. If you make a mistake, acknowledge it, but don't just move on. Learn not what caused your mistake, and don't do it again. This is a big thing for me, because a lot of people, they'll say, oh, well, I'm only human, and they acknowledge their mistake, but they won't learn from it. And that just annoys me so much. So, because if you're going to make a mistake, at least make it work useful. And learn from it. And don't be a noob. There is a difference between a noob and a beginner. A beginner is constantly learning and figuring out the game. They just don't have experience. A noob is someone who has stopped learning or never has started yet. I was a noob for quite a long time until I started learning on how to play Minecraft again. And I'm still learning things from other people and from my own mistakes and experimenting. For example, I learned that if you're on a computer, F1 hides your hotbar. That's nice. But if you press it again, you can get it right back. And look, the sunset it is doing. So, don't be a noob, be a beginner, and keep learning. That's the best piece of advice I can give you. And that's all for now. This is Thomas, signing off.